When we hear the word superheroes, we think of fictional characters. People who got bitten by a spider or had something else happen to them that now gives them extraordinary powers that they use for the good of society. When it comes to our Christian world, there are people who get a lot of attention and have a similar image. And I don't want to bash that at all, that can be completely justified. But to me personally, I am most inspired by the leaders and people who invest their time into small village churches. Those churches that don't have a huge PR budget and don't have multiple crowded Sunday services. They might just be speaking to a group of 3 people on a Sunday, because those 3 people are worth it to them, and that's what makes them my personal superheroes. During my time in Denmark, while I was on my 1-year-long bike trip around Europe to meet Christians from different backgrounds, I got in touch with a small church in the village of Frørup. There are 412 people living there, and at first they were a little bit confused why I chose them to go to their service and to interview them. But I was so excited that they invited me, and I can't wait to take you along and show you how special this place was. So I made my way down the east coast of Denmark and arrived in the Frørup Church, a typical Danish Lutheran church, even though of course there are much bigger Lutheran churches in Denmark too. When I stepped into the building, it really felt like I was stepping into a part of history. This place had been there for a long time for the people in this village to come together and to get closer to God. Even though I couldn't understand the sermon as I don't speak Danish, I really enjoyed the atmosphere and was excited to sit down with the minister Lona to ask her some questions. First of all, I was really impressed by the dress that you were wearing. Yeah. I'm not sure if dress is the right word, but can you tell me a little bit more? Is there a symbolism behind it?
It's very old, and you need to wear this. It's not volunteer. You need to look in a certain way when you are a minister in the official Danish church. I think it's from around 1600. It was quite normal to look that way around 1600, and then the priests, they sort of stuck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And what would you say, which part of the job is the most special, or the part that you enjoy the most?
I think I like to play an important part of people's life, be there when they need me. You feel sometimes in this job, you feel that you make a difference, and that's what makes the job special. When you celebrate with the families at the baptism, it's nice, or you are by their side when they lose a family member. You make the funeral as nice as possible, so they feel that it's the right way to say goodbye. It's one of the advantages by being a small place, that you know each other, and so that's part of my job too, to visit the people who live here. And I meet a lot of young people who are very distressed, and they succumb for this pressure because they don't know how to make ends meet, because they feel they have to be perfect. But nobody's perfect, and I believe that maybe Luther's own experience, he tried in the when he was a monk, he tried to fight to earn God's grace, and he realized that he couldn't. And maybe if you put this in a more, not in the church, but in the daily life, you don't have to deserve everything by being perfect. You just have to rest in peace that you're good enough.
You were just talking a little bit about the Lutheran values.
Yeah.
Maybe you can tell me a little bit about what is the Lutheran Church and what do they stand for?
Luther's ideas, they're very dominant still today in the Danish Lutheran Church. You don't have to find all the merits, you don't, because you cannot deserve God's grace. You just need to receive it, and maybe you can take a chill and rest in this belief that His grace will reach you.
I also got the chance to talk to a member of the church, and this is her prayer request.
Pray that we hope we will be possible to have our church in this town.
I really enjoyed this service. I'm so glad I came today. I think we really shouldn't sleep on places like this. Like, of course, the big modern churches in the city are really cool and do amazing work as well, but I think there's a tendency to kind of sleep on places like this. And I think what they do here is such important work as well, because they have a special way and opportunity here to connect with people in a different way than the big churches in the city. So I really think we should appreciate these types of churches more. And I mean, come on, look at the building. It's so pretty. As always, I would be so grateful if you could like this video, subscribe, and maybe comment something nice if you like. Next Thursday is an exception and there will be no video because it will be the week of my birthday and I'm taking some time off to be with my family that's visiting me on the road. After that, it will be back to posting a video every Thursday. I will see you in 2 weeks.